Good morning. I want you to imagine that you have inherited a lot of money and that you go to live on a Mediterranean island with a lovely home, a nice garden with fruit and vegetables, a wonderful climate, and a nice beach to walk on. Now, would you be happy? A lot of people believe that that is the epitome of happiness. But supposing one night there's an earthquake and a bad storm and your house gets knocked down, the trees in your garden get blown over, you get injured by falling rubble, and the insurance company goes bust. Would you now consider yourself to be happy? I don't think so. So what was Jesus talking about in Matthew 5 when he said, "Happy are the poor"? Now, Matthew 5 and verse 3 is translated variously as, "How blessed are those who know their need for God. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Or Phillips says, "Happy are those who know their need for God." So what did Jesus mean? Well, first of all, happiness. I don't think it's an easy word to translate. It seems to be a cross between being blessed and being happy. It seems to describe an inner contentment, a joy that can't be taken away by any events that, like disasters, that surround us. Now, what about being poor? This word poor doesn't really describe, say, a family on a low income who can't afford any of the luxuries of life and they just get by. Now, they are poor, but the poor that's mentioned here is someone who is absolutely destitute, has no home, no food, has rags on his back. But Jesus said this was not poor in a material sense. This was someone who was poor in spirit. So what did he mean? Well, it seems that we have a great need for God in our life, and without that we are absolutely destitute. So in what way can God help us then? Well, in the case of the person who loses everything in a disaster, there are two ways of dealing with that. Either you can drown your sorrows in alcohol, or even worse, or you can turn to the Lord in prayer and ask for help for this sort of disaster, because the Lord knows that we do need some material things. And we can wait confident that God will help us out, and it gets rid of despair. Now, other things that we need the scriptures. Why? Now, the scriptures do tell us what we can and cannot do. We can't murder, we can't steal, and so on and so forth. But the Bible is also full of comfort, of encouragement and hope. And we need those things, whether we have an abundance or we have very little in the way of material things. So what Jesus seems to be talking about here is that we need to know that we need God. And every day in our life, we need to realize we cannot rely on ourselves for anything. God is the provider of everything, emotional needs and physical needs. Now, he went on to say, "For these ones, theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Now, I know some witnesses who left the organization of Watchtower started to believe that the kingdom of heavens is not real. There is not going to be a new heavens and a new earth, and that it was just a carrot held out by Watchtower to get you to join a cult. And admittedly, Watchtower has abused their position of authority, and they have given out a lot of bad advice. But this doesn't mean that the kingdom isn't going to come. In Jesus' day, the scribes and the Pharisees should have been looking forward to the kingdom, but they corrupted it. That didn't mean the kingdom wasn't going to come. And the same in our day. Jesus assured us the kingdom is going to come we are going to see a new heavens and a new earth. And for those of us that now realize we need God, the kingdom of heaven is ours, because when that kingdom comes, we will follow God in whichever way he leads us, as we are doing today. So what I would like you to do is to think to yourself, do I have that inner happiness that can't be destroyed by disasters? Do I have that reliance on God? Do I recognize I have a great need for God, and every day wake up thinking, what will I do with God's help today? So thank you for watching, and take care, and God